Hey, everybody, what's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to my LS. Welcome to this afternoon's LS. So, basically, today we have a very interesting condition, and we're basically going to be talking about conditions that are making you gain weight, but these are medical conditions. It's not your own making that you look overweight. It could be one of these reasons that you're overweight or you're failing to lose weight. So, just come here and we have a live chat on this. Hey, what's up? What's up, guys? Welcome to my LS. Welcome to my LS. Welcome to this afternoon's LS. Everybody, what's up? What's up? Welcome to my LS. Hey, everybody, what's up? What's up? Welcome to my LS. Welcome to my LS. Anybody here, please tell me if you're here. Hey everybody, what's up? What's up? Welcome to this afternoon's LS. If you're here, let me know that you are here. Everybody, what's up? What's up? I want to talk to you guys, but I'm not seeing you. Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up? What's happening? Welcome to this afternoon's areas. And basically, today we are going to be discussing conditions that basically hindering your weight loss journey, or that are causing you gain weight, and you've done everything right, but still you can't see results. This could be one of the medical conditions, and that's what I want to discuss with you this afternoon. Anybody here? Let me know if you are here. Mr. B and I, what's up? How you doing? You're saying good morning. It's a good afternoon here in Africa, East Africa, Uganda. Thanks for coming to my LS. And basically today we have an interesting topic. We are talking about medical conditions that are linked to body weight or weight gain. I know some people have done everything right. They have eaten right, they have exercised, but still they cannot lose weight. So I'm going to share with you medical issues that are actually leading you to gain weight, and we see how we can tackle them. So you're saying, could you please check if you still have me? Don't know if you Man, mama, it's been a serious patch. YouTube took me like 25 or 30 subscribers around there. So I need to check. Actually, let me check like right now. Let me check right now and see if I still have you. Let me do it ASAP right now. Thanks for coming, bro. Thanks for coming. Let me check if I actually have you. I need to be sure. Mr. B and I. I'm still trying to find you. I'm still trying to find you on my search. Still trying to find you on my search. I don't know. I'm not finding you. I'm not finding you. I'm just trying to find you, but I can't see you. I don't know why. I don't know why. I can't see you. Oh gosh, what is this? I'm still trying to look for you out, but I'm not seeing you. Mr. B Studio. Mr. B. I don't know. Mr. B, I don't know. I'm just trying here to look for you in my search, but I still cannot get you. I don't know what's wrong. Let me try to type again and see. I don't know which one is your channel. I can't find it here in YouTube search. Okay, I think that's what you need to do. You've commented on my latest video. I think I can easily get you from there. Let me try. Mr. Bian, which video have you commented on so that I can easily look out for you? Comment on my latest video so that I can, try to look out for you. I still cannot see you in YouTube search. Let me see if you comment on my latest video so that I can look out for you. If you're in my okay, I've seen you. Oh, I still have you, Mr. B. I think I still have you. Is it okay if I unsubscribe and subscribe again? I don't know. How do you see that? Is it okay? Let me know. Otherwise, guys, welcome to my LS. Welcome to my LS. Share me out. Feel free to share me out so that we can grow together here. Mr. B, invite some other people to come and we have this chat. I'm starting soon. I'm starting very soon. I'm just trying to share myself out, but if you're in the building, please let me know that you are here. Please let me know that you are here. Let me know if you are here. So if you get 5 people in the building, that's when I will start. Because I really don't want to go back and forth. Yes, Mr. B, I saw that. I saw the comment. So I was able to find you. I don't know. Because I still see I'm subscribed to your channel. Maybe if you want me to subscribe and subscribe again so that we can be active again. How do you see that? Because me too, I lost a lot of my friends, but I know if they check, they'll find I'm subscribed. They're subscribed to me. But does that one really count, or you have to unsubscribe and subscribe again? Abba HS, hey, what's up? Welcome to my LS. Welcome, welcome. Happy to have you here. So basically, we're talking about medical issues or medical conditions that are linked to body weight gain or linked to obesity or conditions that are making you look fat, look obese, look overweight, but you have no control over them. It's like a medical condition and you need a medical attention to fix that. So it's not about how you're eating, it's not about how you're exercising, but it's basically about a medical condition. So we're going to see those conditions in a few. But otherwise, guys, thanks so much for coming. I appreciate you. I just want 5 people in the house so that I can start, discussing this very topic. So, guys, keep in the house, share me out, invite your friends to come around so that we can have this amazing topic. And if you have any questions about weight loss or about training, please hit me on the live chat or hit me in the comment section so that I can answer everything for you. Hope that hope guys that is okay. You're asking, are you a medical graduate? Yes, I'm not a doctor. I'm actually a nurse. I graduated with a degree in nursing science, but I'm also a certified fitness trainer and a nutritionist as well. So as you can see, I'm still at my workplace and I specialize in doing dialysis or treating patients with kidney disease. So that's why I'm here, guys. So yes, I have a medical background as well. That's my profession. I work on patients. I work on patients. So feel free guys to share me out. Feel free to share me out and let's grow together. So basically, I think we can start. So basically, one of the conditions that make you gain weight, one of them is when you have hypothyroidism. Grace's word, welcome, welcome, welcome to my areas. Feel free to share me out to your friends so that they can come and we have this amazing live chat. Otherwise, you're asking which university? Yeah, I studied from my country, so there's some university in Uganda, East Africa called it's a Christian university. It's called Bishop Stewart University, and that's where I finished my degree in 2018. I basically graduated in 2018. That's 3 years ago. So basically, one of the conditions that are linked to weight gain is hypothyroidism. So hypothyroidism, basically, you have a thyroid gland here around your neck region here. So it produces hormones that are responsible for your metabolism. And one of the hormones produces T3 and T4, or we call them one thyroxine. Then we have thyroid stimulating hormone. So those are the hormones that help in your metabolism of food. They are important in your heart. Working very right. So when you have that organ not functioning well, or it's under functioning, or what we call hypothyroidism. When it is over functioning, we call that one hyperthyroidism. Then, which means your metabolism of food is going to slow down, and then the food that you're eating will not be put to use, and then you end up getting that weight or putting on all that weight that you are seeing. So it's very important sometimes when you're not losing weight or if you feel like you're obese. Obesity is not a cosmetic condition, it's actually a medical condition. So you need to visit a hospital and we test those hormones. We do serum levels of those hormones, and if they're actually low, we can fix them. There's some treatment that we give called levothyroxine tablets so that they can boost your hormones and boost your metabolism again. So if you have a slow metabolism caused by hypothyroidism or an underactive thyroid gland. Guys, we've seen people who suffer from goiter, so that's always the problem. Sometimes some of them, this gland can get affected and they end up with a condition we call um, goiter, but that's different one. So here, yes, you don't have your goiter, but then you have an underactive thyroid. It's not producing enough hormones to keep your metabolism going. So it's really, really very important that you visit a doctor to find out if you're not losing weight. Then also this condition, it majorly happens in women who have aged up in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and above. So it's not so common in men. I've seen it so common in women. So if you're a woman out there and for some reason you're trying everything to lose weight and you're not losing weight, please, you need to visit a hospital or you need to contact your doctor so that you can sort that out. But otherwise, comedian Jamla, yeah, what's up? How you doing? How you doing? I know you're from Kenya, right? If I still remember, I hope you're doing great in Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu, everywhere. Hope you're doing great. Welcome to my areas. Feel free to share me out to your friends so that we can have an amazing farm here. So that's condition number one, guys. Hypothyroidism, or what we call an underactive thyroid gland. But guys, you're such an amazing, amazing, amazing farm. Thanks for coming through and hope you're taking a message from this. Hope you're learning something. Then condition number two that you need to look out for is people who are suffering from diabetes mellitus, people who are diabetic, and then they are on treatment for diabetes. So if you're on tablets for diabetes, especially there's some tablets they fall in a class we call sulfonylureas. So basically, what those tablets do, they increase your insulin production because one of the reasons you are diabetic is you're no longer introducing and producing enough insulin to help drive your sugar into your cells for use. So what happens is these patients, we give them treatment. TNKK, hey, what's up? You fixed it. Thank you so much. So, so basically, people who are suffering from diabetes, they have an insulin resistance problem. So for us to help them force their sugar into cells is we have to give them drugs. And one of the type of drugs we give them is sulfonylureas, which increase the insulin production so that you can force sugar into your cells. But sometimes they fail on tablets and we end up putting them on insulin. But what does that insulin do? That insulin will drive sugar by force into your cells for you so that you don't have a lot of sugar floating in your blood, which is bad for you. So insulin, basically what it does is it controls your blood sugar. It doesn't make you, hyperglycemic so that you have a lot of sugar floating in your blood, which is bad for you because you can't survive when you have a lot of sugar floating in your blood. But what ends up happening is insulin is a fat storing hormone, or if your insulin is very high, you're basically in a fat storage mode. So that's why if you've seen people who inject themselves insulin, at the injection site, you basically found that they have something like a hypertrophied, mass. We call that one lipidystrophy. So it's very important to know that if you're in insulin treatment, you're most likely going to end up with getting overweight or getting obese. That's why most people who are taking insulin medication, they have their BMI is always high. They are gaining more weight. So the fact that you're on insulin, you see you're increasing your weight as well. So which is really, really, really one of the biggest problems with those people. So they always grapple with weight loss problems because of insulin. So that's one of the Sharifa, what's up? What's happening? What's happening? Welcome to my areas. So that's end up happening with diabetic patients. So if you have any and they're failing to lose weight, they're trying as much as they can to lose weight, it's because they are on insulin treatment. So it's really hard because the moment you inject yourself insulin, it's going to be hard for you to actually lose weight. Then condition number 3 is Cushing's syndrome. So there's a condition, we call it Cushing's syndrome, where your body is exposed so much stress hormone cortisol. So there's a hormone, or basically a stress hormone we call cortisol. So every time you are stressed, your body releases that so much cortisol so that it can, because when you're stressed, you're kind of in a fight and fright mode. So your body needs energy to help you fight the enemy that is causing stress. So what it does, it releases a hormone called cortisol. So that cortisol goes into your blood and then it starts breaking muscles, breaking your glycogen, breaking fats, so that you can get enough sugar to help you fight the enemy. But what ends up is you basically have like a relationship stress, or you have stress at work. You don't need to fight that enemy. So what happens is all that sugar that has been put in your blood ends up being converted into fat. So you have a lot of fat being deposited. That's why most people who are under chronic stress, they are overweight as well. So these people, they always find much of this weight around their face, around the belly, around the back and neck. So they always get something we call a buffalo hump. They always get something here on their upper back, and we call that one a buffalo hump. So if you've seen buffaloes, how they are, they always have that. And that's one of the reasons some of those people actually get overweight or get obese. So it's quite interesting. Most people actually have Cushing's syndrome in our society, but they have not come to the hospital to get diagnosed. You've seen people who have a protruding abdomen, they have a flat back, a butt, they have thin legs, they have thin arms, but they have the entire weight on their upper body. So you have a pendulum abdomen. I mean, like you have a sagging abdomen, you have a big neck, you have a lot of weight around your face, or what we call a moon face. So some of those people, you see them in the society, but they don't know that they actually have that problem. And this problem can be fixed by medically. So that's why it's very important, if you see yourself putting on an unusual weight, please, you need to visit a doctor. You need to come to the hospital and we evaluate you. But some people, you just take it cosmetically, you think this is normal, but it's actually not normal. So even if you try as hard as you can to lose this weight, it's not going to be simple for you. So meanwhile, if you're in the building and you have any question, please feel free to ask me. I'm in position to answer you, right? Do not die out there with your questions. So number 1, underactive thyroid, or what we call hypothyroidism. Number 2, patients who are on diabetic treatment, especially insulin. Number 3, Cushing's syndrome. So it's important to know those conditions. So the moment you see unusual weight gain, you shouldn't just sit home and relax, right? So if you're here and you're in position to share me out, please do. Please do, so that we can have an amazing farm before I can continue, because I don't want people coming and then I keep going back and forth. It will be hard for me. But otherwise, everyone who is here, thanks so much for coming through. I appreciate you. I'm Sharif from us. You're saying you're diabetic. Are you sure? Sharif, are you diabetic or you just saying? Miss Sarah Treya, what's up? How you doing? Welcome to my LS. How is Nairobi? Interesting. I wanted to say hi in Kiswahili, but I don't remember how to do that. But welcome to my LS. So Sharif is saying, my doctors advised me to instead take honey. Oh, so Sharif, at what age were you diagnosed with diabetes? Because this is interesting. I mean, how long have you been diagnosed with diabetes? Are you taking insulin or you just still on tabs? Let me know. And I'll tell you the reason why they asked you to take honey instead. I'm not getting you. You're saying that I have low sugar. Does your sugar go low or your sugar is always high? Oh, you've been diabetic for 10 years. So are you getting insulin injections? Because we have two types of diabetes. We have type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes. Basically, type 1 diabetes, it is where your body is unable to produce any insulin at all. So it basically has a problem with the pancreas producing insulin. So every time you eat sugar, then the sugar keeps floating. Civic Coach 216, what's up? How you doing? Welcome to my areas. I appreciate that you are here. So Sharifa, basically, your sugar sometimes goes low because do you inject yourself with insulin? That's what I need to know. Are you on insulin? Let me know if you're on insulin. So I was still saying that we have two types of diabetes. You have type 1 and you have type 2. Basically, in type 1, you're unable to produce insulin. Your pancreas is unable to produce insulin. Either it got problems, whether, for example, a tumor on it, and sometimes it's unable to, produce insulin. So you have a complete lack of insulin. So you have to be on insulin. Then type 2, it basically comes as a result of either or you're overweight, you're not exercising, so you've developed insulin resistance over time, and then your insulin can no longer work. So your body is able to produce insulin, but it cannot work. So it's saying you are not on insulin. Wow. So what are you taking if you are diagnosed with diabetes? Basically, you say someone is diabetic if they have high sugar levels or high blood sugar levels. So does the sugar go high or it is always down? I need to know that, Sharifa, because this is very, very important. Sharifa, you need to hit my inbox and we talk about this because it's very, very sensitive. It's very sensitive. If you are actually, so are you taking any tabs? Sharifa, let me know. Are you taking any tabs to help control your blood sugar? Let me know if you're taking any tabs. Are you taking tabs, for example, glibenclamide? Are you taking tabs, for example, metformin, glipizide? I need to know if you're taking such kind of tabs, especially metformin. Let me know. So you stopped taking tabs. So which tabs were you taking and what happened basically? Because I need to know if you stop taking tabs, does that mean that you are actually diabetic? Because if you're really a diabetic and you're not taking insulin and you're not taking tabs, then you can't survive. You can't survive. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Yeah, I'm just trying to share myself out, guys. But if you're here and you also have an amazing question, please let me know. Let me know. Let me know. So Sharif, I really need to talk about that. You really need to talk about it. So you said number one was an underactive thyroid. Number two, diabetes treatment. Number three, Cushing's syndrome. And you guys, I want you to imagine you've seen most people with Cushing syndrome. If I can show you pictures, or if you watch my latest video, I mean, I have, I think it's my second latest video. I was able to cover everything in that video concerning these conditions. Um, so basically, find that basically find all the pictures that I put together to, and you realize that some of these people are in our communities, but they actually don't know that they have these conditions. So that's why it's very important sometimes, once in 6 months or 3 months to have a medical checkup on you. So one of the reasons they told you to take honey, Sharifa, was honey does not contain glucose; it contains fructose, another sugar, and that's what makes honey sweet, makes fruit sweet. So it's not basically sugar, so it is not going to disturb your glucose or your sugar levels in blood. So that's why they advise diabetics to take honey because it has no effect on your sugar at all. So that's the reason basically they tell you to take honey instead of stuff that has sugar. That's always the reason. So Sharif, you're going to hit me up in my inbox, and then we shall talk about it. I need to explore this and actually establish if you're actually diabetic or not. All right. But otherwise, thanks so much for your concern. I appreciate you. So, Sharif, have you found trouble trying to gain weight? Trying to lose weight because of your diabetes or because of the condition that you have? Let me know. Have you found any trouble trying to, lose weight? Just trying to share this stream out. So guys, I'm back. I'm back. I just had a second for a minute. I just had a break for a second. I'm back. So guys, we're still continuing with our medical conditions linked to body weight gain or to weight gain or obesity or medical conditions that are hindering your weight loss journey. Feel free to come around and we have this amazing topic. I appreciate you all that you are here. So anybody here, please come through, come through. Let's talk this. Let's talk about this. So we've already talked about underactive thyroid or what we call hypothyroidism. We've already talked about diabetes treatment. We already talked about Cushing's syndrome. And another condition that is possibly causing you weight gain is a condition that is specifically for women called polycystic ovarian syndrome, or we always call it PCOS. So this condition basically, as a woman, you grow some cysts in your ovaries. So over time, these cysts cause a glucose intolerance, or they affect insulin production. So you have a lot of sugar floating in your blood, and of course, that sugar will be converted into fat. This condition also disturbs your menstrual cycles. So you have irregularities in your menstrual cycles. This condition is manifested by a lot of weight being put on your waist. So you have a lot of central obesity, but also this central obesity is bad because it can lead you to getting heart disease. So we've seen women with this condition, and most of them they are always overweight. So it's called polycystic ovarian syndrome. So as a woman, you got those small cysts in your ovaries, and they are terrible when it comes to causing glucose intolerance. So if you're a woman there and you maybe have flank pains and all that, please, you need to go see your gynecologist or your obstetrician so that they can rule out any cysts. If you're troubling with weight loss, if you're unable to lose weight, then you want, you're doing everything right, but then still you can't lose weight. So that could be perhaps one of the problems. So this condition is even common among the middle-aged women, 30s, 40s, um, 50s. So I'm always now seeing it in young women, which is really so unfortunate. So if you're overweight, or if you're obese, or if you know someone who is obese, so it's very important they visit their doctor or they visit a health worker, and then we can check them out if they actually have this condition. So Bridges TV, I see you. Thanks for coming to my house. The influencers link, what's up, what's not happening. Welcome to my LS. Thumbs up. And for the host, that's what you're saying. But I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you so much. Those have just come in. So we talked about basically now about 4 conditions: underactive thyroid. That's the thyroid gland right here on your neck. Or you've seen people, the ones we call that they have goiter, but it's not people goiter, but you have your thyroid gland producing there's hormones, that is T3 and T4s, and these are hormones that are responsible for your metabolism. So if your metabolism is down, then expect you to gain some weight, because whatever you're putting is not pushed to use because your metabolism is down. So you end up gaining weight. Then we talked about patients who are on diabetic treatment, especially insulin. Since insulin is a fat storage hormone, so you have to gain fat as long as you're on insulin, you have to gain weight. So there's no question about that. And if you know anyone who's diabetic, who are injecting themselves insulin, you've seen them with on the injection sites, they have something like a fat correction of salt. We call it lipidystrophy, where you find on the injection sites, you have like an hypertrophic fat of salt. So that's the sign to show that actually insulin causes weight gain. Then we talked about Cushing's syndrome, where your body is exposed to too much cortisol, or what we call stress hormone cortisol. So it's this cortisol, because basically you're preparing yourself for fight and flight. Your body is preparing you to fight the enemy. So it will produce that hormone, or what we call the stress hormone cortisol, to help mobilize all the sugar that you're going to use to fight the enemy. But unfortunately, if you have a relationship problem, if you have stress at work, you're not going to use all that sugar, and that sugar will end up being converted back into fat. So you have a vicious cycle of sorts. So you're gaining weight all the time because of chronic stress. That's why it is very important to fix your stress if you want to lose weight very, very fast. And and that's one we've talked about. Not the last one, but the 5th one, we talked about PCOS, or polycystic ovarian syndrome. Before I go to the 3rd, Influencers Inc., Bridges TV, or anyone else who is here, please, if you have any question regarding weight loss, if you have any question about fitness, please put your question in the comment on the live chat so that I can read it and answer directly when you are still here. So Rashid, you're saying, hey girl, last week here. Kaspidike yuko Uganda, Kaspidike yuko, but I'm trying, bro. Salide nguzi, but I'm trying this shit as hard as I can, man. I'm trying my level best. So guys, if you're in a position, share me out to your friends, to your audience, please share me out so that we can have this amazing chat right here. So number 7 on the list is stress. So basically, stress is a bad guy. Guys. So basically, when your body is stressed, you can have 2 things. You can either lose weight or you can gain weight. It depends. So that's why some people, when they are stressed, they gain weight. Some, when they're stressed, they lose weight. And basically, like I've already explained about the stress hormone cortisol, what happens. So it's basically what happens when you're stressed. But then to others, when they are stressed, they turn to food as a coping mechanism. So you find, for you to forget about your stress and whatever, you're eating all the time. But moreover, your eating uses food. You understand? You're eating empty calories, which are worse for you. So those ones are not going to help you fix the stress. So if you're stressed up, find other relaxing means of forgetting about your stress. For example, you can exercise. When you're exercising, you're focusing on the exercise, the movement that you're doing instead of the stress. Then you can take a shower, you can take a toasting bath, you can do some yoga, you can do meditation, you can have a walk with a friend. Forget about the stress, but do not turn to food as a coping mechanism, right? It's bad. Food is going to worsen everything. So some people will gain weight because they are either depressed, and of course, when you're depressed, you even further gain more weight. Depression itself causes weight gain. So it's very, very, very paramount that when you're stressed, please look for all ways of fixing your stress. I've done stress-related videos on this channel. Feel free to go and check them out and see how you can basically deal with your stress. But please do not turn to food as a coping mechanism to fix your stress. So stress and low mood, please. It's not just something that you should take lightly. This is actually a medical condition. You need to see a counselor if you come to the hospital. Stress could be either from a disease or could be from pain. So there's so many causes of stress. So if you feel you're unable to deal with your stress, find the right people to help you fix the stress. So if you're unable to see the counselor, you can come to the hospital and we sort you out as well. If we think the stress is caused by a medical condition. So guys, if you have any question, please let me know so that you don't miss on this. Then another condition or medical issue that is leading you to weight gain or obesity is use of steroid drugs. So some of you like, when you feel some pain, if you feel some cough, just start going to the pharmacy without a doctor's prescription, or you just go anywhere, a nearby clinic, and get these drugs off the counter. So you go to the clinics, you go to the pharmacies, get these drugs, but you don't know the side effects of these drugs. So I'm talking about steroids, for example, prednisolone. I'm talking about dexamethasone. Basically, all the steroids, they are linked to weight gain, but prednisolone and prednisone, these are worst. They are basically the worst. So we always give these drugs to people who are suffering from asthma, people who are suffering from lupus. Steve's Comics WhatsApp, welcome to my areas. So let's give drugs to these people who are suffering from some kidney conditions to help them out after weighing the benefits and then the side effects. But some of you, when you feel some inflammation, you run and get prednisone. But these drugs are notorious for causing weight gain. Or if a doctor prescribes this drug and then you're having weight gain as a side effect, please try as much as you can to sit down with the doctor so that you can find out a better option that lessens the side effects, but still can work for you. So steroid drugs, dexamethasone, prednisolone, those drugs, they cause glucose intolerance. So it's very, very, very important that you always watch out for the drugs that you're taking. Drugs are basically not food. Drugs are poisons. If you can know how they actually work, they just work like poisons. That's why if you take a small overdose like this, it can cause advanced side effects. So it's very, very important not to just always take drugs because they are available for you, or you feel some pain and you have to take drugs. Every drug you take, just know it has a side effects on your health. So these people, they always get the same presentation like Cushing syndrome. So they'll put weight around their face. They'll basically appear with a moon face. They'll get a lot of weight collecting on their tummy. They'll get central obesity. They'll get a buffalo hump. They'll get a big neck. So that's how those patients present. So Steve comes to say, you're a medical student, Lord. Now, for you need to get locked here. You need to get locked here. So that's the problem with the steroids. So if there's a patient who's on steroids and then they are gaining weight or they are finding it hard to gain weight, please just know that could be the problem, and you need to talk to your doc so that you can revise your treatment. Then we also have other drugs that really cause weight gain. For example, drugs which are used in the treatment of most psychiatric conditions, for example, schizophrenia, drugs which are used in the treatment of convulsions or seizures or epilepsy, they cause weight gain. Some drugs which are used in the treatment of high blood pressure, especially the ones which work on the kidneys. There's some drugs we call thiazides. Those drugs, they cause glucose intolerance. So you can end up you can end up basically gaining weight while you're on those drugs. Mr. Msings, what's up? Welcome to my ears. I appreciate you that you are able to come right here. So you need to check out on those drugs. So if your patient is on high pressure meds, especially hydrochlorothiazides, they are terrible for causing weight gain. If they are on seizure drugs, or if they are epileptic and they are taking anti-epileptic drugs, please just know these patients, they'll have some weight gain or they find it hard to lose weight. So steroids and psychotic drugs and high pressure meds, all those drugs, they are linked to weight gain. So it's very, very important that you know that if you're on those drugs. Yes, it's very, very, very important that you know that. So, Mr. Msings, what's up? If you have any question here, let me know so that I can answer it for you. It might not be related to the topic, but if you have any question about weight loss, if you have any question about building some muscle, you have any question then about fitness, about nutrition, let me know. Let me know so that I can answer it for you. But guys, I appreciate you, an amazing family. Thanks for keeping locked here on this live stream. Then another issue, this one, some people. So, Bridget, if you're saying it's good for losing weight. So, Bridget TV, one thing I want to tell you is for you to lose weight, there's something we call a caloric deficit. So, if you can't create a caloric deficit, I don't know if you understand what I mean by a caloric deficit. So basically, a calorie or calories is a measure of food energy. So when you take your food, you basically measure it in calories, so that the calories like energy that you're going to get from those foods. So for you to lose some weight or lose some fat, you have to be in a caloric deficit, because if you're in a caloric surplus, or if you have a lot of calories coming in and then the expenditure is less, basically you're in a surplus, your body cannot lose weight. So it doesn't matter where the calories are coming from. So if even your calories are coming from the worst foods, the best foods ever in the world, but then you're not able to create a deficit for over some time, you're still not going to lose weight. So number one, to lose weight, you need to create a caloric deficit. But how do you create a caloric deficit? I'm not saying you have to starve yourself. You have to eat foods that are either low in calories, or if you eat high caloric foods, you have to burn more. So there's something we call a calorie in, calorie out, calories in, calories out. So some of you eat more calories and then you burn less. So you basically eat food with high calories, but you're not going to use that food. And that's where the problem stems from. So the reason you have that fat, the reason you're overweight, it's because you ate more than enough. If you don't have any of the medical conditions that I've been discussing, it's either you ate more than enough, you're in a caloric surplus for a very long time, but you're also in a huge caloric deficit, surplus. So just know, if your body needs 2,000 calories or 2,500 calories to function, that is your digestion, your basal metabolic rate, the simple exercise that you do. But for you, you're eating 4,000 calories. So where do you think that extra 1,500 calories will go? Of course, they will be converted into fat and, of course, stored as fat. I don't know if that makes some sense. So which means for you to lose weight, you need to be in a deficit. So if your body works, or your maintenance calories is 2,500 calories, you need to be eating at least 2,000 calories, so that you have a deficit of 500 calories. So that deficit of 500 calories over time is what is going to help you lose the weight. Because yes, your body needs 2,500, but where is going to be getting the remaining 500 that you have not given it? So it will tend to go into the fats and then burn those calories to make 2,500 calories. So salads are okay, especially if you're taking them for snacking. So you're saying, for me, I like food a lot. So the problem is, you like food a lot, especially if you're kind of someone who takes a lot of foods which are sugary or sugary foods, they are addictive. Oh, B and T life friend. Oh my God, you've surprised me. Welcome to my areas. Thanks for coming. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming on my channel. Yeah, you missed something. You missed something, but I'll kind of go back for you. So basically, you love food, but the reason you love food is not because you take food for health benefits. Sometimes you take for the taste, because some people who are taking a lot of sugary foods, they end up being addicted to these foods. So if you're taking a lot of basically sugar is addictive. It's actually more, it's like 8 times more addictive than alcohol. If you're taking sugary foods, I mean, I'm talking about pastries, I'm talking about sodas, I'm talking about energy drinks which have sodas, I'm talking about anything that has added sugar or something that we call fructose, which is a fruit sugar or what makes sweet things sweet. So it is very, very important that you know that you're addicted to food, but then you can work on your addiction. So how to work on your addiction is the most important. But for you to lose weight, you have to know from the word go, you must be in a caloric deficit. Not for 1 month, not for 2 months, not for 3 months, but that's what you need. So one thing if you're fighting with fat, especially 1 pound of fat, like 1 pound of fat, because I'm just putting this in pounds for everyone to understand, is equal to 3,500 calories. So which means if you're able to put in the deficit every day of 500 calories, if you eat 500 calories less than what your body needs for a week, for 7 days, that's 3,500 calories. So which means 1 week you'll be losing 1 pound. So imagine a month, 4 pounds. Imagine 6 months. So it's about consistency, it's about patience creating this deficit. But you need to focus on your foods, because what happens is our body does not treat calories the same way. Your body does not treat calories from, let's say, vegetables or calories from green leafy vegetables and the same calories from alcohol. No. So the calories from your green vegetables are more important to the body, and it will treat them differently. But you have calories from alcohol, we call them empty calories because the body doesn't recognize them. The calories from soda are empty, the calories from energy drinks, that's just a bunch of nonsense. So which means if you're kind of dependent on such kind of calories, still to be hard for you to lose weight. Why? Because for example, calories from high fiber containing foods, calories, for example, from vegetables, cabbages, all green leafy vegetables, they contain a lot of fiber. So the glycemic index, or how fast these foods are absorbed from your intestinal tract, is very slow. So which means these foods are not going to affect your insulin. And insulin, we said it's the storage hormone. So the more sugar that you take in and it's able to make insulin production, the more it will be driven into fat storage. So if you have foods that you're taking in, but then these foods contain a lot of fiber, which means they keep releasing sugar into your blood in bits. But on top of that, they make you fall over time. Those are the foods that your body needs. But your body doesn't need table sugar. Your body doesn't need foods which are basically have a high glycemic index, or foods which are easily absorbed from the intestine. For example, you can take 10 sodas of Coca-Cola, but that one cannot take you for a day because it's basically nonsense when it causes a sugar insulin crash, and your body will sense that you're still hungry and to tell you to eat again and eat more and more and more and more, and now keep gaining more weight, more weight, more weight, more weight. So one, if you want to lose weight, Bridget TV, I'm talking to you, you have to focus on low glycemic foods. That's very, very important for you to lose weight. Rashid Freestyle is saying hello B and T. So hope Bridget TV I answer your question. So if you want to lose some weight, you have to fix what you eat. So I mean, if we talk about that, then it's another LS. So we have to come back and then talk about the best foods you can eat that will help you lose weight. So let me know if you want me to actually do a live stream talking about the best foods that you need to eat to lose weight. But also, objectively, if you go to my channel, I have amazing videos which cover the same content. So I got you sorted. I've got you sorted. So Rashid Freestyle, any question? Any question? Before I go to the second last point. But guys, thanks for coming to my ears. I appreciate you beyond measure. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. So another problem or another medical issue that is causing you gain weight is lack of sleep. This is very interesting. So basically, there are two things that happen when you don't get enough sleep. Either you're out drinking, which means you're taking in more calories, or you're in your room, or you're at the dinner, or you're basically doing a lot of snacking. And that one will help. Oh, mm, mm, mm. Mister, remind me of your question again. Remind me of your question. What were you asking? I'm just looking for your question. You have had more 12-hour march. Rashid, please drop your question again. Drop your question. Drop your question again. Drop your question again. So number 10 is lack of sleep, guys. So what happens when you don't have sleep? You're either drinking, which means you're taking in more empty calories, or you're just up late snacking. And those are the calories that you're taking in. So those calories, of course, will help you gain weight. But also what happens when you've lost sleep or when you're not having enough sleep is what happens with the hormones that help you regulate hunger. And we are talking about two hormones here. There's a hormone called leptin and there's a hormone called ghrelin. So ghrelin is the hunger hormone. Ghrelin is the hormone that tells you to eat. That tells you, bro, girl, you're hungry. Can you grab something to eat? Then leptin is a hormone that tells you, please, what you've eaten is enough. Please, can you stop? Otherwise, you'll be eating the whole day. So basically, leptin is satiety hormone, and then ghrelin is a hunger hormone. So basically, what happens when you have insufficient sleep is your body will tend to have an imbalance in these two hormones, especially ghrelin, your hunger hormone. So if you don't have enough sleep, your brain hormone is always high all the time, which means you want to eat all the time. So when you're eating all the time, man, that's the cause of the weight gain. So sometimes you look what you ate, but sometimes you don't look what you ate, but you look what you did with what you ate. That's basically it. So basically, you need to fix your sleep. So averagely, a person should be sleeping for 7 to 9 hours. So if you're sleeping less than that, then that sleep is inadequate and it's affecting you in so many health ways. So it's very, very important that you get enough sleep, right? It's very, very important that you get enough sleep. Hopefully that I answered your question, right? Hope I answered your question, but if you still have some queries, please hit me on my inbox. I'll be able to help you the more. Anyone in the house who still have any question? If you still have any question, please let me know. If I can jump on my second last point, which is basically for ladies. I mean, you can't wait to hear this, and that is contraception. Elena TL, what's up? What's up? How you doing? Your Omurunju wow is here. But I appreciate you. Thanks for coming through. I appreciate for sparing that time and checking me out. Better late than never, right? If you missed it, but we shall go back. We shall summarize it for you. So number 10 on my list is ladies contraception. So ladies always jump on always jump to blame the pill or blame contraception that it's causing them the weight gain. Yes, I don't deny that contraception, especially pills that contain estrogen and progesterone, or what you call combination pills, they are linked to weight gain, but their weight gain effect is short-lived. So if you take them, we expect you in a shortest period of time to have fixed the weight gain. So basically, don't jump on to blame the pill. Don't jump on to blame the pill. So your entire weight gain cannot be blamed on taking contraception. I mean the pills. There are other types of contraception, but this time around I'm just talking about the pills because those are the ones that have been linked to weight gain. So the ones that contain progesterone and estrogen. So ladies, do not jump on to blame the pill that it is responsible for causing you the weight gain. So you need to work out with your obstetrician and gynecologist to pick out the best method for you that will not cause that short period of weight gain. But even if you're to get it, as long as the pills are working best for you, you're going to experience that short that weight gain for a shortest period of time. So if it is continuous, then just know it's not because of the pills, but it's something else that needs to be investigated. So ladies, once again, do not jump on to blame the pill to be responsible for your weight gain. So Ellen, I've been talking about medical conditions that are affecting weight gain or that are causing you to gain some weight. So we talked about so many points. We talked about hypothyroidism. So we talked about hypothyroidism. We talked about diabetes treatment. We talked about steroids or other drugs that cause weight gain. We talked about PCOS or polycystic ovarian syndrome. We talked about Cushing's syndrome. We talked about stress and low mood. We talked about lack of sleep. And those are basically the conditions that are causing you weight gain. But Anna can just brainstorm it for you so that you can be brought up speed of what we're talking about. Pamela, what's up? How you doing? Welcome to my LS. I appreciate. So you're saying, I want to read that, Pamela. Let someone else read it for me. So basically, we're saying that. So and I want to stress how stress causes weight gain. So basically, when you're stressed, your body is under stress. It's under your body is preparing you for a fight and fight mode. So your body tells you you need to either fight the enemy or run out from the enemy, which means you basically need some energy. And to get energy, you need sugar. So your body produces what we call a stress hormone, cortisol. And this stress hormone, what it basically does is it goes everywhere. It goes to your muscles, it goes to your fats, it goes everywhere and brings all the sugar and put it in blood. But the problem, you either have a relationship stress, or you have stress at work, or you have stress from somewhere else. You basically not need to fight the enemy, but you just need to fix your stress. So which means all the sugar that has been put in your blood is converted back into fat. That's always the problem. So it's very important to know that your body does not differentiate stress from work, stress from relationship, stress from you seeing a lion and you want to run away. So your body will kind of treat that stress the same way. It doesn't matter how the stress is or when it comes. So it will tend to handle stress the same way. But the problem also, when people are stressed, they tend to turn to food as a coping mechanism. So you find people when they're stressed, that's when they're hungry all the time. And that one is brought because there's some hormones that control your eating. So one of the hormones is called ghrelin. So ghrelin is basically your hunger hormone. Ghrelin is a hormone that tells you Elena, please, you're hungry. Can you eat something? So that's the hormone. Then there's another hormone that tells you, Elena, you've eaten enough. You can't go beyond this. That's enough for me. You understand what I'm saying? So basically, what does that mean is when you're stressed, your body gets an imbalance in those two hormones, especially the ghrelin hormone goes high and you're hungry all the time. You want to be eating all the time. And the problem, you're eating even foods that will not help you, make you full all the time. You're eating empty caloric foods, which means you're going to gain weight because you're eating more calories. So it's very, very important to fix your stress as much as you can. And that's how basically stress causes weight gain. But some people, when they get stressed shockingly, that's when they lose weight. So it all depends. So if you don't turn to food as a coping mechanism, some people they'll actually lose weight. They'll actually lose weight. So it varies. So 60% will gain weight, and then the 40% will, lose weight. But I've covered a lot of stress related videos on my channel. Please, if you're in a position to find them on my YouTube channel, go and check them out, how you can fix stress. If stress is from maybe work, what you need to do to fix that, to fix your stress. So it's very, very important that you learn how to fix stress, and I have everything on my channel app. Elena, that's how stress causes. Then we talked about steroid drugs. We talked about steroid drugs. So when you're in steroid drugs, we talked about people going to, off the counter pharmacies, clinics, and they're buying all drugs. And what you need to know is drugs is not food, or medicine is not basically food, the way they say. Actually, drugs are poisons, so they have a lot of adverse side effects. So if you're out there and you're buying drugs whenever you want, when you even have the smallest kind of, pain, but you still want to fix it with a drug, then you have a problem. So please, if you want to take some drugs, make sure that they are prescribed by a health worker or a doctor who understands the side effects. So steroids, basically, these are drugs like prednisone, dexamethasone, hydrocortisone, and we also give it to people who are suffering from weight gain. Oh, I'm sure you're WhatsApp. Welcome to my LS. I appreciate that you are here. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming. So these drugs, let's give them to patients who are suffering from asthma, patients who are suffering from any kind of inflammation, patients who are suffering from other conditions called lupus. There are so many other conditions. So when we put these patients on these drugs, yes, they have some side effects. So some of the side effects of these drugs is glucose intolerance. So you have a lot of glucose coming everywhere into your blood, and of course you end up with weight gain. So where do these patients see their weight gain? It will tend to collect around their upper back, it will tend to collect around their neck, it will tend to collect around their belly. So they basically have like central obesity, they have a big upper body, but these patients, they have thin legs, thin arms, thin butt, but then they have a sagging belly, they have a moon face, they tend to have a lot of weight collecting on their face. So it's very, very, very important to know the kind of drugs you're taking, especially if they are steroids. So when you get such kind of effects and you're on such drugs, please, you need to work around with your doctor so that you get some other drugs that will do the same job, but of course, lessen the side effects of weight gain. You're saying around their neck, we think, no, this weight is too much. Like someone has a lot of weight around their neck, but they also get something we call a buffalo hump if they get something around behind their neck. So we've seen these people in the communities, and people think it's normal for them, but it's not actually normal. These are medical conditions that people are working with, but they think it's just cosmetic. But these conditions, they are actually fixed with medical interventions. People are just bragging about them. Someone has central obesity, or they have an distended abdomen, and someone thinks that's normal. That's actually not normal. So these people, they actually need to come to us and we sort them out. Then there's also a condition I talked about, and that is polycystic ovarian syndrome. And this is a condition that affects women. So women tend to grow some small cysts in their ovaries, and this condition over time affects your menstrual cycle. If you're a woman, it affects your glucose metabolism, so you end up gaining weight. So they always get problem with insulin, a hormone that helps you control your blood sugar. So they end up with weight gain. So most women will find they have a lot of weight on their waist. So they basically have put on the weight on their abdomen. But of course, over time, these patients are always forgetting heart disease. So it's very, very important. If you're kind of a woman, you've done everything to lose weight, but you can't lose weight, but you are diagnosed with cysts with a scan at some point, please let us know. Let us know some of these cysts can be removed, and then you fix your problem. And now you're asking, what brings cysts? Yes, this is an amazing, amazing question that if I'm to discuss the cause, we need to sleep here. But basically, cysts sometimes, for example, ladies, all ladies, at some time, at some point, I hate to say this, but you will get a cyst. At some point, you will get a cyst. But these cysts sometimes they are not causing you discomfort. Even if you have them, they're not causing you discomfort. We only intervene when these cysts are causing you discomfort. So basically, when you're a woman and then you have you're saying, I'll just give you a hint. Basically, the real cause of the cysts, even us, the health workers, we don't know the real cause. But of course, when you're producing ovaries, I mean your ovaries, when you're producing what so-called eggs, you understand? The so-called eggs. So sometimes those eggs, they go wrong. They don't mature the way they're supposed to mature. So sometimes it's like how you see a woman, hi Tricia King, hey, welcome to my LS, I appreciate you. It's like how you see a hen when there is some eggs, they are not fertile the way you think. They will end up producing nothing, and you just find fruits in it. So the same happens for women. So yes, you're producing eggs all the time, but some eggs over time they are not productive at all. So what will end up happening is you end up with some cysts. But cysts, most women have cysts, but they are working with them, so it's not a problem most of the time. So in Jesus' name, and you will not get any. So that's what I can hint about it, but there are so many other causes which I'm not going to discuss here on the LS. So to shaking, you say, I'm driving, so cannot chat more. I understand, but just keep locked here. So, Eda, hope I have answered your question. So, polycystic ovarian syndrome, it's one of the conditions that are linked to weight gain, especially when it comes to women. Then we also talked about other drugs that are causing weight gain, especially patients who are on diabetic treatment. Patients, you have friends, you have your parents, you have your grannies who are taking insulin to help them fix high blood sugar. So insulin is basically when your insulin is high, even in you, you're basically storing fat. So, but imagine these people, they developed insulin resistance, but now we are giving them exogenous insulin. That's insulin from the outside, or the manufactured insulin to force sugar enter into their bodies. So over time, because it's a fast storaging hormone, these patients, they end up actually getting more weight. They're already overweight, and that was the cause of the insulin resistance, and that's why they are diabetic. But even when they come to the hospital, we give them more insulin so that we can fix their high blood sugar levels. So we end up causing actually more weight gain, because that's kind of the solution that we have. Because most people, fixing insulin resistance won't be easy for them. You understand what I'm saying? So patients who are on diabetic treatment, especially insulin, most of them, they are grappling with weight gain. Then we talked about some other drugs, especially drugs which are used in the treatment of psychiatric disorders. We have disorders like schizophrenia. seizures or what we call convulsions, patients who are on treatments for high blood pressure, they'll end up getting some weight gain. You understand what I'm saying? So it's very important that sometimes when you see these side effects and your hypertension patient, discuss with the doctor so that you can get a better drug that will not cause weight gain on your side. Mhm. Then, Elena, I'm still going back for you. If you're still here, we talked about contraception. Ladies always, most time, they always jump to blame the pill or the pills they use for their contraception to be the cause of the weight gain. But hey, please do not jump to blame that pill first, because the weight gain linked to contraception or pills, that is the combined estrogen and progestin pills, is short-lived. You don't expect this weight gain to last for some time. You just go for either a month or two and then it will disappear. But if you have weight gain for more than that, that's probably another cause that is causing the weight gain, not the contraception. So please, ladies, don't use the excuse of using pills to be the cause of your weight gain. Mhm. If you have any question, please drop it down so that I can answer it for you. Then also there are other medical questions. For example, when you have a liver disease, if you have a kidney disease, if you have a heart problem, sometimes you start, retaining water. There's something we call food retention. So the excess food that you're retaining also cause some weight gains, but this is going to be manifested by you getting on the scale and then your weight has increased. So basically, that is that is well known. You have a kidney disease or liver disease, you're bound to gain weight. So those conditions, just know they are worse, and you shouldn't pray to have one. Any other question? If you're still in the building, any other question? If you're still in the building, so that I can tackle it for you. Then there's something we also talked about. We talked about lack of sleep, and we said lack of sleep is a serious one. When you're not sleeping, the odds are most people, they're out drinking, like there's no tomorrow, or they're up late snacking. So the extra calories that you're taking in, that's the cause of your weight gain. That's basically the cause of your weight gain. So please try as much as you can to avoid snacking, because you're up late, you're either watching a movie and you're taking on all these snacks, and trust me, over time, you'll get weight gain. But there's also something that plays when you're not asleep, or when you have not gotten sleep for over a period of time. So Bridget TV, thanks. So what happens is, over time, your hormones that control your hunger and satiety, they're affected. So I already talked about leptin and ghrelin. So the same hormones, of course, they are going to be affected when you're not getting sufficient sleep. So especially the hunger hormone will increase, and you want to eat all the time, you want snack all the time. So please make sure that you get sufficient sleep as much as you can. If you have a question, if you have any question, please drop it down here so that I can answer it for you. Okay. If you're still here and you have a question, please let me know. So, Patricia, can you saying I had pregnancy diabetes when I was pregnant, of which went I had a baby, so I've been told to watch out for the future. Thanks for that. Thanks for that wonderful question. So basically, when you're pregnant, it's what you call pregnancy-induced diabetes. Then after delivering, the sugar goes away. So sometimes when you're pregnant, there are some hormones that play out and you end up getting like a high blood sugar. And what happens even when you produce a baby, you produce a kind of, there's something we call macrosomia, where you have a very huge baby, especially when the baby is over 4 kilograms. So, but after delivery, their sugars get fixed because when you're pregnant, there's so many hormones that come into play. I won't, discuss the entire pathophysiology, what happens, because I'll end up confusing you the more. But what happens is we have mothers who always get pregnancy-induced diabetes, but after that, after delivering, their diabetes is fixed, especially after delivery. So it always happens, Priscia. Do not worry a lot, but it's very important to keep checking yourself because there's a small percentage of people who continue to get the usual diabetes. So they get diabetes while they are pregnant, and then they continue and get diabetic for some very good time. So saying, which I've been doing now, but sometimes I have a snack or two, but I'm very conscious of I understand it's very important to be conscious of what we eat, but what is very much, and I need to know how long was your pregnancy? When did you deliver? Are you still pregnant or you delivered? So if you delivered and then it's past 6 weeks, and then your sugar levels, you don't have any problem with the sugar levels, you've perhaps gone back to your doctor and they have taken your sugars or they have measured your sugars, and then your sugars are okay, then which means your diabetes problem was fixed. But of course, what happens sometimes, some people, they continue and get diabetic without even after delivery. So what you need to do is, even if you are not pregnant, of course, please don't eat a lot of sugary stuff. It's very, very important, very, very important to watch what you eat. And watching what you eat is very, very, very important in a way that if you eat a lot of sugar, then chances are you will always cause insulin resistance. So when you get insulin resistance, then you complicate your diabetes. So that's why it's very important to eat a lot of foods, even if they have sugar, but they have fiber as well. Because what happens is sugar sometimes you regard it as a toxin, but you see, when God made a toxin, He also made an antidote for it. So it's very important if you're to eat sugar containing foods, you eat the natural foods. You understand what I'm saying? You can eat your sweet potatoes, okay, your yellow bananas, okay, but maybe you can limit, you can stop, you can reduce the number of times you visit McDonald's, right? That's what I'm saying, Tricia. So those foods from fast foods, they are really not good for you, especially if you really had red flags of you getting diabetic when you were pregnant. Hope I answered your question, Tricia King. Yeah, thank God it happens when you're pregnant and then it didn't continue. But it's very important for everyone, even if it didn't happen to you, then to always watch you eat, avoid insulin resistance. We have a lot of diabetics tripling all the time, and I really do not like it because reversing diabetes, it's really, really hard. Most people they continue and get complications and then we end up losing some of them. So it's very, very important that you fix what you eat. Yes, your body needs sugar, but too much sugar is bad for you. It's bad for you. And I'm not talking about added sugar or sucrose. Here I'm talking about fructose. I'm talking about sugar that contains in a lot of fast foods that we eat. It's really, really not good for you. Liam Media, what's up? Thanks for coming to my ears. I appreciate you. If you have any question, please let me know. We've been talking about medical conditions that are making you gain weight or that are hindering your weight loss journey. Oh, Trisha, can you delivered 2 years ago and you're okay now? That's very fine. I'm happy for that. I'm happy that you're now okay. So, but please, it's very important to keep watching what you eat. Please, if you're to eat natural foods. Just leave the manufactured foods. God didn't create that. Fitness and meals, what's up? Welcome to my ears. I appreciate that you are here. Yeah, media appreciate that you're still in the building. To checking, I appreciate that you all still here. But remember to thumbs up the host, right? Remember to give thumbs up to the host. So fitness and meals, better it than never. But let come as you know, they eat buns. I'm kidding. But we really have a big conversation on medical conditions that really cause weight gain. But if you know missed a lot, I already did a video. It's like I think I uploaded that video last week. So I talked about the same conditions that we've talked, here, we've discussed here. I put together those conditions in a video. So if you haven't watched it, please you need to watch it and then pick something from that video. So to brainstorm, we talked about an underactive thyroid. We said your body has a thyroid gland that is on your neck right here, and it produces hormones that help in your metabolism. So basically, when your metabolism is low, that is they produce T3 and T4. When those hormones are down, your metabolism is low, of course, you're going to gain weight. Then we talked about diabetic treatment, we talked about steroids, we talked about we talked about a lot of stuff, Cushing syndrome, there's some drugs that cause weight gain, we talked about stress, we talked about lack of sleep. So there are like 10. So the young media is saying, could you share the advantages of bone soap or Morocco? Lol. So basically, that's what we call Moroccan or bone soap. It's good because one thing it contains is it's kind of a cartilaginous thing, but you're eating basically a source of your. For example, I want to one thing. Your blood cells or your blood is manufactured in the bone marrow by some cells we call the tetrocytes and so many other things. So basically the entire cell line, your white blood cells, your red blood cells, your platelets, everything is produced in the bone marrow. So some people assume when you're eating a bone marrow of another animal, you're kind of getting the same benefits, which you're not far away from. So that's why some people feel like eating moroconi, that chigere is the way to go. It feels sweet, you feel much better. That's why even the soup is kind of different because it's like an industry. For a great function, that industry must be working very well. So if you get a chance of getting it, please grab it because it has all the nutrients, of course, it has the protein, but of course you end up with the cell lines, you end up your white blood cells or your body's immunity, your platelets, those are cells that will help you when you cut yourself so that you don't keep bleeding, and your red blood cells, all of them, they are produced in the bone marrow. So please, if you are able to access it, please eat it. It has a lot. It has a lot. Hopefully, media, I answer your question. That's why most people think it is sweeter than all other types or all other places of akar or something of sort. So if you can get it, please grab, eat, and it is sweet. It tastes nice. That's me too. Sometimes I grab and eat it. So I'm still having 4 amazing people in the building. If you still have a question, okay, any healthy question, feel free to ask me. Fitness question, ask me. Weight loss, nutrition, ask me. So my discussion, what I had for you, I just discussed everything and it's done. But if you have any question of what we either discussed or what you need to know about weight loss, please hit me right now so that I can answer everything for you. I still have 3 amazing people in the house. Hit me up. If you're still in the house and you have a question, let me know. So guys, as you can see, I'm still at my workplace. That's where I'm having this live from. It's a Saturday. few patients, so I could just get some time to, share with you something. So as you can see in my background, this is my workplace. You can see the machines that I use for my work. Basically, me, I'm specialized in, treating patients with kidney disease, and I do something we call dialysis on them. So these are the machines that you see behind. Those are the machines that I use to help my patients. But today I just had a few patients, and I worked on them, and I decided, hey, how about we have a chat together? So if you're wondering why I'm putting on this and this kind of background, it's because I'm still at work. So we have 15 minutes to the end of this LS. It's a 2-hour LS. And if you still have any question, please let me know. I still have two amazing people in the house. I still have two amazing people in the house. Any question, please let me know. Mm. Any question? Let me know. If you want me to talk about anything you feel to help you, let me know. If you want me to go back, if you have come late to the medical conditions, I can still do it. I still have two amazing people in the house. So we said basically why insufficient sleep causes weight gain was when you're not having sufficient sleep, it's basically you're either out drinking like a thief or eating like a thief. You're just dancing the night away, or you're up late working, watching a movie or watching TV, something program, and what's happening is you're snacking. So it's all about calories at the end of the day. So that's one way. But another way how sleep affects your weight loss or that makes you weight gain while you get insufficient sleep is when when you don't have sufficient sleep, you get an imbalance in some hormones. And one of the important hormones, we have two hormones here. We have your satiety hormone and your hunger hormone. So your hunger hormone is called ghrelin, and your satiety hormone is called leptin. So ghrelin is the hormone that tells you, please, you're hungry, can you eat something? Then leptin is a hormone that tells you, please, you've taken enough, could you stop? And that's why otherwise you'd be eating the whole day. So those are the hormones that come into place that will help you, stop overeating. But what happens when you don't have sleep for a very long time? What happens is you get an imbalance in those hormones. So you have higher levels of leptin, high levels of ghrelin hormone. So all the time you're hungry and you want to eat. So the more you eat, the more weight you get. So that's basically it. Oh, so dear media, you have an interesting question here. You're saying, let me first show this. I need to show this. So you're saying, what exercise routines do COVID patients go through and diet recommendations? So that's a very, very, very important question. One thing I'll talk about that because COVID patients, basically COVID is a virus. So getting, viral treatment is something not easy. Wanji? Okay, let me come for a second, guys. Let me attend to something for a second. So, guys, I'm sorry I just got something to help out, but I'm back. Thanks. So I was still answering Liam's question. So basically, COVID is a viral infections, and viral infection you don't have like you don't treat it with antibiotics. Basically, treatment for viral infection is very hard. So basically, for you to eliminate viral infections, you need to have your immunity very strong. You need to have your immunity working so that when you get a viral infection, your body is able to clear it. And when your body is unable to clear it away, that's when it causes adverse infections, and then you end up, leaving us in the faces and leave us crying. So one, you need to eat foods that are going to boost your immunity. Here we're talking about green leaf vegetables, we're talking about other fruits, we're talking about vitamins, basically eating fruits which contain a lot of vitamins, eating foods that contain a lot of vitamins, and those vitamins are the ones that boost your immunity. So that's why fruits, that's why we've been, demonizing sugar all the time, because that has no much effect, especially on your immunity. So if you're eating foods that boost your immunity, for example, fruits, all green leaf vegetables, that's what your body needs to boost itself and start fighting other infections, not only viral infections like COVID, but also other infections as well. Muscle Brody, I see you. You say, yes, bro, I love that. Yeah, I actually started about 2 weeks ago. I've been, this like my third live or fourth. So thank God that you've been able to catch up with me. So Liam Media, one thing that it does is able to, fix your immunity. So the moment your immunity is fixed, then you have the guards to prevent COVID from, causing adverse effects on you. But the moment the virus comes and finds when your UPDF is down, that is your immunity, because it's going to hit you hard. So the dietary recommendation that I advise for COVID patients, please, you need to take a lot of fruits. Even right now, the patients, I'm in a hospital that has COVID patients, and that's what we're giving them. We make sure that we give them fruits, make sure we give them a lot of leafy vegetables, we make sure that we give them a lot of food that contain a lot of minerals. You understand what I'm saying? So basically, that's about the COVID. Then, Muscle Grower, sorry about that. So, I mean, how far with your son? Did your son heal from COVID? Last time we talked, you were telling me your son went to school and came back with COVID-like symptoms and then was confirmed with COVID. So, I don't know if it's 14 days, if they have done the retest, or are you also suffering from COVID? I need to know that if you have COVID also, or if your husband has COVID as well, because that would be some sort of shit. But one, you need to know, please make sure that you feed your kid on a lot of fruits, give them leafy greens, give them the broccolis, all the fruits, everything, all the green leaf vegetables, please give them. The moment they fix their immunity to be able to, wipe away all the COVID. Because the moment your immunity is strong, they're like guards like this. So when COVID comes, to either stop there or to be pushed away. But the moment they come and they find the guards weak, it's going to continue, go to your lungs, destroy your lungs, go to your blood, and of course, you end up with a lot of complications, and that's how we've been able to lose some people. So make sure that you fix the diet issue. Then number two, he asked about exercises. Basically, exercise does not fix your immunity. I mean, directly, it doesn't. It doesn't fix your immunity. Grace saying husband Tonda Visarel. Yes, we all have it. We've been having lemon and ginger. Thank you. You've been doing great. You've been doing great. Ginger is good. It has all the antioxidants. It has all the anti-cancers. It has all the vitamins. It has all the minerals. Those are the things that are going to help fix your immunity. Then you also need to add some protein as well. Add some eggs, you understand? Add some protein, add some salmon if you can get it. So you need protein and you need leafy greens and vegetables as well. So trust me, when you can do that, COVID is not going to cause you a lot of trouble. Any other question? Any other question? But I wish you quick recovery from COVID, Master Glory. I wish you quick recovery. Mm, mm, mm. This COVID really came up. Trishak, you're saying I got cut off my network. I know you told me you're driving, but hope you're able to get back to us. Hope you're able to get back to us when your network stabilizes. So, Master Glory, any other question? So we've been basically talking about conditions that are causing you to gain some weight. So we've talked about, oh, Master say yes, yes, salmon. Salmon is very, very high in protein. It's very, very high in protein, and you know it's good because it has the best fats. It contains omega 3, which are good fats that your body needs. So I always tell some people that however much you need to lose fat, but you also need fat to function. You can't function without fats as well. So for you to lose fat, you must be eating healthy fats. But the problem for you, the reason you're gaining fat is not because you're eating fat, it's because you're eating so much sugar. You understand what I'm saying? So some people gain fat because they eat sugar, not because they eat fats. So you need healthy fats, you need avocados, you need salmon. Salmon has the best. And also throw in some eggs. Those eggs has some a little bit of and that's so-called labeled bad cholesterol, but that's not the case. It has so many good things that some people tend to throw away the yolk, but all the good nutrients in the egg, they're in the yolk. So when you throw away the yolk, then you've eaten nothing. To check you saying, what advice do you have for diabetics eating carbohydrates? Oh my God. Diabetes in the first place, the reason why they are diabetic is because they are eating a lot of carbohydrates, and over time they ended up getting insulin resistance. But also now because their insulin is unable to work on their carbohydrates, so when they eat carbohydrates, their blood sugar goes high, and your body has a set point where it works. So when your sugar goes beyond, for example, 11 millimoles per liter, whatever is coming on is going to make you feel so bad, and you end up even being admitted in the hospital. So basically, when you're diabetic, so we tell them to limit their carbohydrate intake. So if you take some carbohydrates, you must be taking carbohydrates that have a lot of fiber. I mean, they have a lot of fiber in the sense that it won't affect in a way that it won't affect your blood sugar. So the problem is when you eat carbohydrates that have less fiber, they are going to increase your blood sugar, and that one will be bad for you. So you have to eat, for example, some people they tend to eat, for example, yellow bananas. Instead, they contain a little glucose, but they have fiber and contains much of it fructose, which does not affect your blood sugar. We tell them to eat a lot of vegetables, because vegetables, yes, some of them have some glucose, but because of the high fiber content, it does not affect their blood sugar. The little sugar that is coming in is put to best use, because it's not going to, spike your sugar very fast, and then you don't have insulin to work on your sugar. So please let them, if they are to eat carbohydrates, they have to eat carbohydrates that have a lot of starch. But most of them, you have to end up, for example, if you're able to take, for example, I'll tell you, if you have a plate of food, I expect only 20% to be carbohydrates, but even these carbohydrates, they have to be having a high fiber content, especially vegetables. That's you all need. Stuff like bread. When you're diabetic, you don't need bread, you don't need donuts, you don't need buns. You can eat maybe a little bit of cassava, a little bit of sweet potato, a little bit of it, and you don't have to overcook it, because when you overcook it, you break down the fiber and it just becomes sugar, and you're just throwing sugar into your body, and it's going to affect you, and now you start injecting yourself with insulin, taking meds, which is really bad for you. So basically what you should be doing is focus on eating proteins if you're diabetic, not even a lot of protein, because also for protein to work, you need insulin. So if you have insulin resistance, you need to eat a little bit of protein, but you need to eat a lot of leafy greens. You need to eat a lot of a lot of vegetables for you not to affect your blood sugar. Rennie, what's up? Welcome to my house for the first time on my areas. I appreciate that you're here. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. And if you're in a position to share me out so that I can have an amazing farm right here. So this is the my third areas. If you made it, I'm happy for you and happy for myself as well. So Trisha is saying, yes, I know. I want a friend here to hear this. It's well. Yes, thanks, and hope your friend has picked something. So please, I always tell people, do not wait to get diabetic. Limit your sugar intake. The problem with people is this time around, you find 90% of your plate has sugary foods. It's what you're eating. Yes, your body needs sugar, but you're giving it too much than it can handle. And over time, this sugar is going to be converted into fat. It's going to be converted, into a lot of bad things that affect you, and it won't be good for you. So, and this doesn't happen in one single meal. For you getting diabetes, you don't wake up one day and just you're diabetic. No, it's after you eating the wrong way for like 5, 10, 15 years that you start seeing symptoms. So I always tell people, don't wait to see symptoms. Start eating right now. Start eating right now. Do not wait to first get the symptoms. Do not wait to first put on the weight, get overweight, and then after that, I always tell people, you saw this fat coming and now you're struggling to lose it. In the first place, if you don't have it, don't give it a chance to come. Yeah, I mean, they're saying when you say someone in Uganda, we hear Mukene, but why? So but the problem in Uganda is we don't have salmon. Salmon, and it's very expensive, but in other countries, the UK, US, countries close to the sea, they have access to salmon, and for them, they are salted. Salmon gives them a lot of protein that we miss here in Uganda, a lot of good fat that we miss here in Uganda. That, I mean, sometimes I'll be there and I want to import salmon, but I'm unable. But it's really very, very important to have salmon if you can access it. But in Uganda, the way we are said, we eat mukene, we are feeding on mukene, those small fish. So guys, I'm saying, for you, if you want to live up to 40 years, if you want to live up to 50 years, you have to start today. You don't reach there and then you think of extending your lifespan. No. Sometimes you need to sit down and picture yourself at 40. See yourself at 50. How am I going to be? So if I'm 25 or if I'm 30 years and everything is not working right, how am I going to look at 50? So start fixing your life at 50 right now by eating right, by doing everything that you can to live a healthy life. And trust me, you have a nice lifespan. But now what are happening, we have 30-year-olds having diabetes, can you imagine? We have 35-year-olds having high blood pressure, which never used to happen in the past because we've lived a kind of life that's really hard for us to avoid such kind of stuff from happening to us. But I always tell people here, if you want to live up to 60s, 70s, 80s, you need to think about it right now. And the best way is to do that is you need to solve the physiology of aging. To solve the physiology of aging, you must eat right, you must exercise, you must basically live a healthy life. But if you think you're going to live a healthy life at 50, my friend, you will start enjoying your life right now. And at 50, when you have all the money, they will tell you, do not eat meat, do not eat this. And this is when you have the money to buy it, but you're restricted from, accessing it. So what's very important is start fixing it now so that you don't reach at some point and we limit you from taking all business foods for yourself. Fish sharking, like seriously, in Uganda, you cannot access salmon. I mean, fish in Uganda is basically expensive. Sometimes it takes me months to eat fish because here in fish in Uganda, you find it's about $4. Sometimes it's about $10 in some good hotels. Man, we want to eat right, but sometimes we are unable. We are unable to eat right. But sometimes don't give excuses. If you need the good fats, you still can access good fats. We have avocados, you can eat avocados here. You can take some coconut. No, olive oil is good. So basically, you have no excuse. You have options. You have some options here. But I myself, I really miss salmon. I really, really miss salmon. I miss salmon. And I can't wait to the first day I will travel outside this country and have my first taste of salmon fish. Because I really don't like those small, small fish that are so called muken. I even don't know how they are called in English. Please, number freaks, what's up? Welcome to my LS. Better it than never. We 2 hours. Better it than never. So basically, we're talking about an interesting topic, medical conditions that are making you gain weight, making you look overweight, making you obese, making you gain this belly fat. But these conditions, you have no control over them. Some of them, it's us, the health workers, that we can diagnose them and perhaps fix them. So sometimes some people have done everything that they can do in their own making to fix weight gain, but they have failed. And the reason they have failed is they could be having one of these problems. So if you have done everything to fix weight and nothing is happening, you've eaten right, you've seen other nutritionists and nothing is happening, please, your weight loss might need a medical intervention. And that's why we are here for you people. So sometimes people think obesity or overweight is a cosmetic, stuff, look and something, but it's a medical issue which needs a medical intervention. So basically, at the end of the day, when you have such kind of problem, you must end up in the hospital. And the earlier, of course, the better. The earlier, the better. So anyone who still has a question, it could be a healthy and lifestyle question, it could be about weight loss, it could be fitness, to be anything, please hit me up here in the live chat so that I'm able to, answer your question. I already finished our discussion about weight, about medical conditions. But if you want to, go back for you, I can still brainstorm for you so that you're up to speed of where we are with you. Ha! You can use updates, my boy Roger. What's up? Welcome, welcome, welcome to my house. I see you, bro. What's not happening? What's not happening? Barara, we cool. What's happening in Kampala? Been here for 2 hours and been talking about amazing shit, amazing stuff. We've been talking about weight loss, we've been talking about medical conditions that make you lose weight. And trust me, it's been an interesting, interesting topic. But Taloja, if you have any question regarding weight loss, fat loss, health related, I'm here for you. Drop your question and I'll be able to answer it for you. Sheldon Music, what's up? Welcome, welcome, welcome to my ears. I appreciate that you are here. Thanks for coming. Any question about weight loss, please let me know. Let me know right now so that I'm in position to help you out. You've had amazing question. The way you see the title, we've digested the topic. Basically, you missed a lot, but you can still go back for you. So I'll just brainstorm for I've just come in. Spicy Denise, hi, what's cooking? What's cooking? What's cooking? What's cooking from my ears is we're talking about medical conditions that are making you gain weight, that are hindering your weight loss journey, that are making you get your best or making your friends get the best. And we said in the first one, when you have an underactive thyroid, for example, your thyroid gland, you have a thyroid gland here, it's on your neck. So when that thyroid gland is not producing enough hormones, that is, there's some hormones we call them T3 and T4. Those are the hormones responsible for your metabolism. So when the hormones are not enough or they are below what we need, your metabolism slows down. When the metabolism slows down, you end up with weight gain because whatever you're eating, of course, is not supposed to use and ends up into fat storage. Then number two, we talked about patients who are on diabetes treatment, insulin. Insulin is a fat storage hormone. So these patients, when they're on this treatment, instead of losing weight, they end up gaining more weight. But you have no option for them because we need to fix their sugar. So we have to keep flushing out their sugar with insulin because for them they have developed insulin resistance. Then we talked about contraception. We said ladies do not jump on to blame the pill because you know weight gain that has been linked to with contraception, especially combined pills that is progestin and estrogen. It is short-lived for like a month or two. So of course it will go, but ladies tend to exaggerate it and think that's the cause of my weight gain. Hell no, that's not the cause. Then we talked about Cushing's syndrome. When your body is exposed to so much cortisol that that you're producing a lot of sugar coming from breakdown of your muscles, coming from everywhere to prepare you for fight and fright. But of course, you're not going to fight anything. So sometimes people end up with this kind of condition. So basically, you're producing so much cortisol, but also the cortisol could be coming because you either have a tumor on your adrenal glands. There's some glands that are on top of your kidneys, like a heart like this. So those glands sometimes they can get a tumor. We call it a pheochromocytoma. You start producing so much cortisol. You can have a pituitary gland tumor that will, lead to so much production of cortisol. And what will end up happening is these patients will come with weight gain, which manifests on their abdomen. They end up with central obesity. They will have a buffer hump. If you know how a buffer hump looks like, they will have it here on their neck. They have a big neck. They have small legs. They have a flat butt. They have thin arms because cortisol will break your muscles to provide sugar at the end of the day. So that's the problem with Cushing's syndrome. Then we talked about lack of sleep, we talked about stress, we talked about other drugs that cause weight gain, for example, antipsychotics, seizure drugs, or anticonvulsants. We talked about high pressure medications. We also talked about PCOS, a condition in ladies where they grow cysts in their ovaries and end up getting glucose intolerance. We talked about lack of sleep. So there are like 10 or 12. So but I appreciate that you guys came and you are still here. So I'm going to end this live stream at around, we have 8 minutes to the end of live stream. So if you still have any question, please let me know. And I thank you all for coming. I thank you all for coming. If you're still in the house and you have any question, please let me know. Anyone still in the house, let me know if you're still in the house. So the other day, have an interesting question is saying, Doc, what are your thoughts on weed? I'm told it is for medication. Lol. Okay, this is an interesting question. Yes, we have some medications, especially pain medications that kind of act like weed, and that's why most people think they're made from weed. Even caffeine itself, if you didn't know caffeine, the one you take from coffee, it treats you like weed. I mean, even in the hospital, we have it as one of the psychoactive drugs because the way it works. That's why when you take a lot of coffee, you have energy like more than usual. You have energy. You can't sleep. If you're driving, you can drive the entire night without getting asleep. So the mechanism of action of some drugs that we have in the hospital is the same as those of weed or marijuana or whatever. So, for example, if you look at drugs like pain drugs like morphine, if you look at drugs like pethidine, that's why these drugs you can't access them without a doctor's prescription. You can't go to a pharmacy and you say you need pethidine and they give it to you because they are addictive. The way they work simple like weed. So that's why some people, we have some health workers even themselves, when they get access to these drugs, they go high, they get addicted to these drugs, and they keep buying and injecting themselves. So you're acting someone who's like taking weed. Yes, it's true, some drugs are made from, weed, some of them, especially pain medications, they act the same way as weed. So hopefully, media, I answer your question. So that's why when you're able to access morphine or pain medications, we give it to you with caution. We give it to you with caution. Oh, yes, please checking. I appreciate that you are still here. I have like 5 minutes to the end of this LS. I don't want it to be long so that I can go home and rest a little bit. I've been busy working, but decided to share with you. As you can see, I'm still at my workplace. I haven't gone home, so I just have these 2 hours and then go home and rest with you. But thanks for coming, everyone. Hopefully, did I answer your question? Let me know if I answered your question right. Let me know. So yes, we have those drugs which really act like weed, and that's why they are restricted. You can't buy it without a doctor's prescription. You cannot. And we cannot put you on this drug for a very long time because they are addictive since they work just like weed. So I give you, for example, pethidine, morphine, caffeine, and other such kind of drugs in the same class as those ones. So it's very, very paramount that us as health workers, we guard these drugs jealously to the public, because the public accesses these drugs, then trust me, it's worse. It's worse. It's worse. So the only drug that you can access that is on your disposal is caffeine, because no one has no control over you taking caffeine. But caffeine over a period of time, a long period of time, is bad for you. The way drugs are bad for you. Caffeine causes palpitations because it's a severe stimulant. It causes CNS symptoms. That's the problem with caffeine. So I have a video already that I shoot about caffeine that I'll be dropping soon. So you need to check it out. You need to check it out. Its effect on, especially on your metabolism. So it has some effects on metabolism, and you have so many people taking it, especially as a pre-workout, when they're going to exercise, or as an intra-workout, to keep their energy boosted. So I'll be discussing the effect of caffeine on metabolism for you. So we still have two amazing people in the house. We still have two amazing people in the house. If you have any questions, I have 2 minutes at the end of this LS. Please let me know. I answer before I go so that I'm able to catch you tomorrow. Tomorrow we are here talking about another topic in the afternoon, 2:30, another LS. So always catch me over the weekend, both on Saturday and Sunday at 2:30 doing my LS. So I'm doing some other LSs in the middle of the week, especially live workouts. Then over the weekend, we shall be having interesting topics to talk about. So don't always miss me at 2:30 every Saturday and Sunday. Then other days, live workouts. So basically, on these LSs, I'll be not be like a live Q&A, answering your questions, having fun with you, interaction, and that's basically how my LSs are going to be. So they're basically going to be engaging LSs. And you can always give me topics, to talk about, say you have something you want me to talk about next weekend. you help me either send it on my IG, Girls Fitness, or leave a comment here on this LS before I turn the comment section off so that I'm able to see it and then prepare it for next weekend for you. But otherwise, I appreciate you for coming. I can't thank you enough. I can't thank you enough. And see you in my next LS. Mad love.